Well, well, well.
Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well, well, well.
Chad's Mikey Musumeci has now gone on to backtrack his statement about Derek Moneyberg, saying he personally did not give him the black belt, which he never claimed to all along. But he has now kind of said some negative things and hurt Mr. Money Turd, Tommy Berg, whatever you want to call him, Moneyberg, his feelings. And we got some new clips to show of Moneyberg calling out Mikey and showing, hey, I'm the Giga Chad here, Mikey. You shouldn't have disrespected me like that. Recently, Moneyberg and Jake Shields sat down and freaking dismantled Mikey Musumeci. However, the video has been taken down and I can't find it, so I'm not really sure what that's about. But luckily for me, other YouTubers and me, myself, got some clips of it before it was completely shut down, completely taken down, so we could further dissect it and see what's really going on here. First off, I'd like to point out that he likes to point out his body fat percentage. All right, I guess it said it was 10.9 or something when he weighed in on this body scan thing. And notice, Chads, when he puts himself on the body scan, he gets in the same exact position as the diagram. All right, Derek, you're a smart man. I know you don't need to get in the same exact position for it to be an accurate reading. As a matter of fact, the body scan is really not accurate at all. Those things can be manipulated very easily. And the only really true way you could test an accurate body fat percentage is to die and get cut open and see how much fat is in you. These are all guesstimations. All machines that test body fat have a error per se. And so when I Googled what this in-body scans percentage of error, it was upwards of 1 to 4%. All right, that is a significant amount. That's without messing with the results, okay? So you can further mess with this by, drinking water, drinking tons of water, being overhydrated, because what are your muscles made out of? Mostly water. So if you drink a bunch of water, the scan will think, oh, hey, there's more muscle in here. When really, you just have more water. So I know this personally because at Purdue we would do what is called a DEXA scan, which is probably the most accurate body scan measurement tool that one can buy. All right, these things are insanely expensive, only at like universities and high-level sports facilities. And so you lay down, it scans you, but we had to follow a specific protocol. All right, you could not eat or drink anything, but you could have one bottle of water to not overhydrate, but you need to be somewhat hydrated. You can only have one bottle of water before going into the scan. All right. And guys figured out if they drink more water, it'll give you a lower body fat percentage rating, despite, being the same body fat percentage. And so, Derek could fluctuate this a little bit. Let's say he's doing this in the middle of the day and he drinks, a bunch of water throughout the day. Boom, that fluctuates it. Also, let's say he's got socks on. I'm assuming since he's not grabbing onto anything, it's a electrical impulse, right, or whatever, which is highly inaccurate. If he's got socks on, that messes with it. So we cannot really take that body fat percentage as a tool of measurement, especially if he doesn't follow the same protocol when measuring it, right? Fasting and then only drinking a bottle of water before getting on. So highly unreliable way of measuring body fat. But anywho, neither here nor there. Another thing I'd like to point out, Chad, is I think we finally got to him about the socks, all right? Because in this interview, look, man, he is sockless, all right? He's letting the piggies out. And man, I feel good about this. I think we finally got to the man. And I think he's finally coming around, really showing off that black belt prowess he's got going on. So, Chads, we did it. We got the socks off. The marble flooring, he's adjusted. He's becoming a true jiu-jitsu, becoming one with the culture. So socks are off for this interview. Not on the mats yet, but socks are off during the interview, and I appreciate that. So thank you, Derek, for that. Furthermore, another thing that came up in this interview is he said, I have rolling footage of me with these top people, but I will not release it. What was he releasing here? A little rolling footage of him and Mr. Mikey Musumeci. All right. Mikey locks in a super tight choke. Derek lets him lock it in. And Derek, shows black belt level technique getting out of this thing, just rolling around like a pig in mud. But it's what you're supposed to do. You roll out of chokes like this. And when you have 3.5 years of experience and, you're a genius and you have more, mental knowledge of the game than most people, then it's beyond our understanding of how he got out of this. And, I'll have to dive into it deeper and really dissect what he's doing to get out of this choke, because he gets out of it on a world-class champion. Despite being, Derek is 270, right? 270 pounds at least. I think he was somewhere near 280 on the scale. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but we'll look at it. So definitely at least 270. Mikey competes at about 135. So that means Derek is about twice Mikey's size, all right? I am 170 pounds. Half of that would be about 85 pounds. And so if I had an 85-pounder, lock up a choke on me and freaking, I think I could get out of it or, fight for a while, wear him out a little bit, and, get his arms tired before he could choke me out, all right? Despite not using any technique. I'd fling an 85-pound man off me extremely quickly, all right? So yeah, just let's keep that in mind, a guy that's half his size. Furthermore, Mr. Moneyberg, goes on to show himself lifting some weights, hitting the donkey calf raise, probably the most chadliest calf exercise I can think of, hitting the leg press with significant amounts of weight, and the in-kind dumbbell press with significant amounts of weight. And I will give it to the man. He is, not lifting small numbers. These are significant weights. And, if he's willing to pay money for high-level jiu-jitsu coaches and a high-level black belt in a short period of time, I'm not saying he bought his black belt. I'm just saying he paid for training lessons to accelerate his growth. I don't think he'd be above accelerating his growth in other areas and using what wealth can buy in order to obtain goals he would like. And that includes lifting heavier weights. And if you're not catching what I'm referencing, there are some ways you can accelerate your growth in the weight room without, with not spending as many years in the weight room. All right. Potentially, I'm not saying he does, but he could take steroids, and he could do it in a healthy manner and a responsible manner because he has the financial well-being, or he could hire himself a good chef that makes sure that he's getting numerous amounts of protein from great sources, or somebody who could get him the purest source of testosterone that'll help him, boost muscle naturally. Any way he does it, he has a good means of resources to help himself out here, and I'll let you decide how he does this. But yeah, I will say, strong, however he did it, strong guy. You don't just do that by accident. Bravo, Mr. Moneyberg. Donkey calf raise, superb. And I gotta admit, his calves, quite large, all right? Let me look at them things. Those are humongous calves, all right? Bigger than probably me. So, humongous calves, gotta enjoy it. I know my boy Sammy G is jealous of those calves. Sammy G might be able to take him in a grappling match, but he's not taking him in a calf raise match. You know what I'm saying? So, I will say that. What really got Tummyberg upset, though, is Mikey's post-fight interview, UFC BJJ 3, which I'll play here.
Right here. Someone you spent some time with, Derek Moneyberg, I don't know if you saw, but Sean Strickland is suing him for defamation. You've made some comments about him before. Have you seen that Sean is suing him, and B, can you clarify your comments about his black belt?
Can I plead the fifth? No.
Yes, you can. Enjoy your win.
No. I don't know. Derek was always really kind and nice to me, so I consider him a friend, and he was very nice to me. So I was defensive because I felt like a friend was getting attacked, and I just instinctively, whenever my friends are getting attacked, I want to defend them, right? But I really had no place in that situation to even talk or anything. So I didn't award him his belt or anything. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I think
Mikey does not handle it well. He does not handle social pressure very well. Even though his following has grown exponentially, and he's got the most followers in jiu-jitsu, 1.2 million. Not suspicious at all after the UFC BJJ views with the view bots allegations. Not suspicious at all that some of those could be bots as well, but I digress. Anywho, he's got 1.2 million followers. Followers are growing every day, but with that high following becomes some criticism, all right? If you're in the public eye that much, you don't really get out scot-free, and people are going to attack you. And people certainly attacked him about this, and he is backing down. And we see how he reacts when people don't talk nicely about him, all right, in the past. And he is backpedaling a little bit, all right? He even goes on the Jake Shields podcast, does a little backpedaling. But what he does say is he could beat a hobbyist 46-year-old black belt. I don't disagree with that, Chats. I made another video about it. I don't disagree that he has a chance against a 46-year-old hobbyist black belt out there, all right? That is, and you guys know, you guys could probably think of one or two that maybe I could see Moneyberg just purely off strength, all right? Dr. Mike has a black belt, right? In the previous video I was talking about, he's beaten some black belts. He's competed before. Some guys that are now black belts, purely with strength and a little bit of specific moves. Could Moneyberg? I could not see it going past him. They comment how strong he is. Mikey, you're 135 pounds. Anybody that is twice your size is going to feel stupendously strong. And so, yeah, I could see it. Get him a man. Will he beat Sean Strickland? Definitely not. Sean Strickland would absolutely do whatever he wants in a grappling match. But that is neither here nor there. Also, He says, I didn't give him his black belt. You did not get his black belt, Mikey, but you defended him when he got his black belt. And that is what made the BJJ people upset, all right? And now he's backpedaling, not defending the black belt, but just saying he's strong, considers him a friend. But Moneyberg says, no, we're not friends. We're not friends anymore, Mikey. You betrayed me. You stabbed me in the back. I'm Caesar. You're Brutus. As you could tell, I'm Caesar with all these Greek references. I got the freaking Greek painting behind me, the Greek coin on my rash guards. I'm Caesar, you're Brutus, Mikey. Jake Shields is, some other guy in the Julius Caesar play. I don't know. That's about as far as I know. Caesar gets stabbed in the back, you know what I'm saying? But, any of you chats, what do you think? Are you tired of hearing about this stuff yet? Let me know in the comments down below.
We returned till 3 in the morning last night. That's completely true. We returned till 3 in the morning last night. We returned till 3 in the morning last night. We returned till 3 in the morning last night.